A movie about the encounter of two extreme perfectionists.
Son of a bitch.
One is a manipulator.
Why the f didn't you say so?
And the other is a victim. Being a manipulator and being a victim is exactly the opposite, but both with the same cause, boundless perfectionism. Terrence Fletcher suddenly notices the drumming sound of a first-year student on one of his usual nights. The first meeting of teacher and student.
What's your name?
And your name, sir?
What year are you?
I'm first year.
You know who I am?
Yes, sir.
It seems that after a long time, Fletcher has finally found an intense, vulnerable, and ambitious perfectionist. A first-year student trains intensely in the middle of the night. This tells Fletcher that he will do anything it takes to become the next Body Rich. And the mental games begin.
So you know I'm looking for players. Then why did you stop playing? Did I ask you to start playing again?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Sorry,
I asked why
misunderstood.
you stopped playing, and your version of an answer was to turn into a wind-up monkey.
He invites Neiman to his studio group, but before Neiman sits behind the drum, he wants to bend Neiman to his wishes. Fletcher told Neiman to arrive for practice at 6 a.m., a demand seemingly routine. Yet, the ensemble session was not scheduled to commence until 9 a.m. This deliberate discrepancy left Neiman in a state of limbo, a 3-hour testament to Fletcher's desire for absolute control. Fletcher's class atmosphere is a very stressful atmosphere that drips water from the trumpets, because musicians don't even take a breath between playing. A slight deviation in the ensemble's rhythm was all it took for Fletcher to pinpoint an innocent victim. In a display of ruthless authority, he executes the unsuspecting musician, mentally and personally in public.
What are you looking at?
Then why the f didn't you say so?
Carried your fat ass for too long, Mets. I'm not going to have you cost us a competition because your mind's on a Happy Meal instead of on pitch.
And from Neiman's terrified face, it must be said that his method works perfectly. During the break between training, he approaches Neiman with a disarming demeanor and a friendly attitude. He easily slipped past Neiman's defenses. It was a calculated move, one that allowed Fletcher to gather the ammunition he needed to dismantle Neiman's persona. The conversation casually steered towards Neiman's father, and as Andrew responded nervously, Fletcher's predatory instincts sharpened.
Oh, what's he written?
I guess he's more of a teacher, really.
Oh, college.
Pennington High School.
He detected the subtle undertones of disappointment in Neiman's voice, the unspoken admission of his father's fails. In that instant, Fletcher understood the leverage he held, the power to wound Neiman in the most personal of ways.
Cool. All right, man. Have fun.
So there's Andrew, plopping down at his drum set, all pumped up with the pep talk Fletcher dropped on him back in the hall. Fletcher's playing it cool, tossing around names like Buddy Rich, you know, jazz legend vibes.
Got Buddy Rich here.
Andrew's feeling on top of the world and starts hitting those drums like a pro. But wait, Fletcher's got other plans. Jumps in and throws a wrench in the groove, and just like that, Andrew's good vibes start to fizzle out. Now he's getting jittery. Andrew is getting more and more anxious every moment.
Downbeat on 18. Not quite my tempo. It's all good. No worries. Here we go. You're rushing.
He is slowly making Andrew confused and doubting himself, doubting every beat.
Ready? Okay. Dragging just a hair. Wait for my cue. Rushing. 5, 6, and...
It's time to stop!
And then, when Andrew's pretty much hanging by a thread, when he is sure that Andrew's guard is down and he is in his most fragile state, Fletcher goes in for the kill. In a very brutal way. First, he breaks Andrew to pieces with his freaking violence.
5, 6,
In
7.
4, damn it! Look at me!
1, 2, 3, 4.
Andrew's about to lose it. Seriously.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Now, are you a rusher? Or are you a dragger? Or are you gonna be on my time?
I'm gonna be on your time. 3, 4.
Jesus
1, 2.
Christ! I didn't know they allowed retards into Schaefer. Am I to understand that you cannot read tempo? Can you even read music? Were you rushing or were you dragging?
Just one more nudge, a bit of teasing, and he's gonna cry. Fletcher knows that.
Answer!
Rushing.
So for the final time, say it louder! I'm upset!
He killed him, and now he is ordering his body. I'm gonna take you down, and you're still gonna listen to me. Basically, he's pushing Andrew to see if he gets up and goes out with a you, or is Andrew the one he thought from the beginning. Next up, we catch Andrew on the drums, hand all messed up and bloody, stronger than ever. Fletcher thought right, Andrew is exactly the person he figured he was right from the start. He spotted something in Andrew that made him really turn up the heat on the guy. Or like, when the music sheets vanished right before the show, pretty sure that was Fletcher's doing. Or how he threw Andrew into the ring with a couple of other drummers just to shake things up.
Pick it up!
I think his biggest manipulation technique is, my approval is your value. When we look more closely at Fletcher's character, we see he's got his own way of teaching. First, Fletcher internalizes his affirmation in each of his students, meaning something higher and holier than anything. He elevates it to the point where it's like he's taking over their whole reason for existence. It's like Fletcher's thumbs up is the be-all and end-all, way more important than feeling good about yourself, being happy, or any other positive feedback. Fletcher, at first, humiliates his students so much that he can make his approval their value.
Parker, that is not your boyfriend's dick. Do not come early.
I'm upset!
He'll even play dirty, using personal stuff like Neiman's mom dipping out early on him, just to get in their heads.
You are a worthless, friendless, lip little piece of shit whose mommy left daddy when she figured out he wasn't Eugene O'Neill, and who is now weeping and slobbering all over my drum set like a 9-year-old girl.
You are nothing. The key to being something is my approval. Well, Fletcher is not the only perfectionist in the film. In one of the scenes of the film, Andrew and his family are sitting around the table, and unlike the achievements of others, which are praised by family members, Neiman's success to enter the studio group is not praised by any of them.
Yeah, it's going really well. I'm the new core drummer. So I'm a core member, so I'll start playing in competitions. And actually, I found out I'm the youngest person in the entire band.
How do you know when's in a music competition? Isn't it subjective?
You didn't have to cut me off.
I got a reply for you, Andrew. You think Carlton football's a joke? Come play with us.
You didn't have to cut me off.
When Andrew's father argues with him at the table and mentions the early death and eternal life of stars, Neiman says,
I'd rather die drunk, broke at 34 and have people at a dinner table talk about me than live to be rich and sober at 90 and nobody remember who I was.
Neiman's perfectionism for fame. Life's worth is all about being known, and in his mind, the key to fame is Fletcher's approval. Fletcher's really drilled that idea into his head. This whole deal where nobody's backing you up makes Fletcher's nod seem like a big win, so much that it drives Andrew to play drum hard with bloody hands. He even ditches the girl he likes, stands his ground against Fletcher's tests, and even after a nasty crash, he drags himself, all busted up, back on stage. It seems that failure to perform not only makes it worthless, but also creates a state of madness in Neiman. Without you, I am nothing. Internalizing others' approval as a sacred matter can mess you up big time. Like, if you don't get that approval, you might just call it quits. That's what happened to Andrew. Once Fletcher wasn't cheering him on, he dropped the sticks and acted like drumming wasn't even his thing. This whole approval game doesn't just stress you out, it can strip you down to nothing.
His name was Sean Casey.
Just like what happened with one of Fletcher's old students, it can leave you feeling so lost that you might end your life by your own choice. When Fletcher gets kicked out of Schaefer, he tries to smooth talk his way out of it with Neiman.
I was there to push people beyond what's expected of them. I believe that is an absolute necessity.
And then Andrew hits him with this killer question, probably the biggest one in the whole movie.
But is there a line? You know, maybe you go too far and you discourage the next Charlie Parker from ever becoming Charlie Parker.
And Fletcher's answer clears things up.
No, man, no. Because the next Charlie Parker would never be discouraged.
Yeah.
He thinks there's no limit for the next big jazz legend like Charlie Parker. 'Cause in his mind, once someone feels like they've made it, they'll just stop trying and fade out. But we all know it's not that simple. There's this super fine line. One side, you're pushing through to greatness. The other, you're just crushed, totally losing your dream. That's the edge that can make or break you. And if we pretend that edge doesn't exist, we end up with tragedies like the suicide of one of Fletcher's students.
This scared, skinny kid, cursing himself because he couldn't get his scales right. I saw a drive in him, and I put him in studio band.
Thank you so much for watching this episode. We hope you enjoyed it, and don't forget to join us.